On Thursday, March 28, 2024, the Embassy of Kazakhstan in Ukraine called on all its citizens to immediately leave the territory of the Odessa and Kharkiv regions. Moreover, as it turned out, the president of Kazakhstan Kassym-Jomart Tokayev personally ordered the diplomatic mission of Kazakhstan in Ukraine to control the evacuation of citizens of his country from the Odessa and Kharkiv regions. The calls of the Kazakh authorities to their fellow citizens to immediately leave Kharkiv and Odessa came as a shock not only to the Ukrainian telegram channels but also to the Kiev regime. In Kiev, they know perfectly well that the president of Kazakhstan is one of the few leaders of the post-Soviet space, whom Vladimir Putin treats as a friend. Consequently, in Kiev, they assumed that the president of Kazakhstan called on his citizens to leave Odessa and Kharkiv for a reason. Most likely, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is well aware of the imminent offensive of Russian troops on Odessa and Kharkiv, and therefore, wants to protect the citizens of Kazakhstan in advance. The fact that Russia is carefully preparing for a future offensive on Kharkiv and Odessa is also recognized by numerous Western military experts and analysts. According to them, the recent increase in the number of massive missile strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure is clear proof that the Russian army is preparing for a full-scale offensive both in the south and the north of Ukraine. Indeed, in the last 5 days alone, Russia has launched 2 massive missile strikes on the territory of Ukraine, which resulted in the destruction of dozens of thermal power plants throughout the country. Moreover, on March 22, the Dnieper hydroelectric station was also destroyed, as a result of which the city of Zaporizhia was left without electricity and internet. Power outages are also still observed in Odessa and Nikolaev. All these missile strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure have had a very negative impact on the combat capability of the Ukrainian army. According to insiders, due to emergency shutdowns of electricity, delays in the supply of weapons and food for the Ukrainian army began to be observed along the entire line of combat contact. Moreover, the Prime Minister of Ukraine Denis Shmyhal admitted that as a result of these recent missile strikes, the energy infrastructure of the Chernivtsi, Cherkasy, Lviv, Ivano-Frankivsk, Vinnytsia, and Dnipropetrovsk regions was significantly damaged, as a result of which the armed forces of Ukraine did not receive the necessary food supplies and military equipment in time. And in spite of this, it seems that Russia is not yet satisfied with the successes it has gained regarding massive missile attacks. As it turned out, on the night of March 29, the Russian aerospace forces launched another massive missile strike on the territory of Ukraine. And this missile strike has become one of the most powerful and massive in recent months. Russian strategic bombers launched about 90 cruise missiles. In particular, we are talking about such missiles as the Kh-555, Kh-101, and Kh-59. In addition, MiG-31K fighter jets launched about 10 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. The warships of the Black Sea Fleet also took part in this missile attack, firing about 30 caliber cruise missiles on the territory of Ukraine. It is reliably known that about 50 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and 90 Geranium kamikaze drones were also used by Russia during this massive missile attack on the territory of Ukraine. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, as a result of this missile attack, dozens of energy infrastructure facilities were destroyed throughout Ukraine, including Odessa region. Commenting on these massive missile attacks, many well-known Western experts said that Russia with these actions also send a signal to some NATO countries that want to send their troops to Odessa and Kiev. Experts recognized that in the event of the appearance of armies of NATO countries on the territory of Ukraine, the West will not be able to avoid massive losses in manpower. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian armed forces continue to build an analog of the Surovikin line in the Odessa region, in the hope of stopping the future offensive of the Russian army. However, many Russian analysts have stated that no defensive lines of the armed forces of Ukraine will be able to stop Russian troops, since Russian combat aviation still dominates the air, and will easily be able to destroy any enemy defensive lines with the help of guided aerial bombs of the Fab family. Experts recognize that Russia has managed to negate the full power and effectiveness of Western air defense systems in Ukraine, and this is the very factor that becomes fatal for the Ukrainian army, which is unlikely to be able to keep Odessa and Kharkiv under its control now.